There is a difference between being beautiful and being chosen. Beauty draws attention, but the chosen carry a weight that only heaven can explain. You didn't survive what you did by accident. There are marks on you, not of damage, but of destiny. Ladies, hear me loud and clear. You're not ordinary. You are not here because you stumbled into favor. You are here because you were marked by God before the foundations of the earth. There's a reason hell keeps coming for you. There's a reason your story is laced with pain and power. There's a reason your name won't stay buried even when people try to silence you, because only chosen women carry these 7 hidden marks. You've been through things that should have stopped you, betrayals that should have broken you, losses that should have buried you. You've faced nights when the weight on your chest felt heavier than your hope, and yet here you are, still standing, still showing up, still walking. But let's be clear. This walk hasn't been perfect. It's been a limp at times. Some days you didn't strut into the room you crawled. You moved on trembling legs with swollen eyes and a shattered heart, but you moved, and that movement matters. That choice to rise, to keep pressing forward when giving up would have been easier. That's not just survival. That's evidence of divine strength. There were moments when you prayed and heaven felt silent. You asked God to take the cup, and he didn't. You begged for relief, and it didn't come the way you expected. But instead of collapsing under the unanswered questions, you carried them like a cross and kept going. That doesn't make you weak. That makes you marked. See, chosen women don't walk untouched. They walk wounded, not because God enjoys their pain, but because he trusts them with it. There's something sacred about a woman who bleeds but doesn't quit. A woman who can be cracked and still pour. A woman who learns to walk not with perfection, but with purpose. People look at you and wonder how you do it. They don't know that every step costs you something. Every yes is tied to a scar. Every smile is laced with memories of nights you barely made it through, and yet you still show grace, you still carry kindness, you still dare to believe that something good can come from all of this asterisk. That's not normal, that's not common, that's the mark of the chosen, because the enemy thought your wounds would silence you. But all they did was give your voice weight. He thought your pain would stop your purpose, but it only deepened your capacity. So no, you're not walking because everything is okay. You're walking because even when everything isn't okay, you still know who holds your steps. You still trust the one who sees the end from the beginning. And somehow, in the middle of it all, you've become a warrior wrapped in grace, wounded. But still walking, that's not a flaw. That's your power. There's something different about the way you see. It's not just about having sight, it's about having vision. You don't just look at what's in front of you, you sense what's beneath the surface. While others are distracted by appearances, you're tuned into what's unseen, what's unspoken, what's sacred. That kind of seeing didn't come easy. It was birthed in pain, developed in silence, and sharpened through seasons where you had to discern without a map. You've learned to read the room, not just with your eyes, but with your spirit. You can feel when something is off before a word is spoken. You sense when someone is hurting even through their smile. You can walk into a place and feel the atmosphere shift, and no one else seems to notice. But you do, and that gift, that insight, it's not random. It's the residue of being chosen. You've been through too much to ignore what you feel. You've learned that not everything is as it seems, that just because it looks good doesn't mean it's God, that just because someone is loud doesn't mean they carry truth. You've developed an ability to see past the applause, past the position, past the performance, and you recognize what's real. You see the potential buried under pain. You see purpose hidden behind chaos. You see healing where others see ruin. This kind of vision makes you dangerous because you're not easily fooled. You're not quick to follow trends. You don't chase hype. You move by revelation. You listen to what heaven is whispering, even when the noise around you is loud. And sometimes that vision makes you lonely. People don't always understand why you pause when they rush, why you wait when they move, why you say no when they see opportunity. But you're not guided by what's obvious. You're led by what's asterisk true asterisk. And let's be honest, it can be heavy. Seeing beyond isn't always beautiful. Sometimes you see what hurts. You feel what others try to hide. You carry the burden of knowing too much, sensing too deeply, caring so hard. But even that is part of your calling, because the chosen don't just see for themselves. They see for others. You've been sent into places not just to observe, but to asterisk, intercede asterisk, to pray, to protect, to prepare the ground for something greater. So when your heart gets heavy with what you see, remember this. God gave you this sight for a reason. You are a watchwoman on the wall. You are a seer in a world that's spiritually blind. You are proof that heaven still opens eyes and whispers secrets to the ones who will listen. You don't just see facts. You see asterisk truth asterisk. You don't just notice problems. You see asterisk possibility asterisk. You don't just recognize patterns. You see asterisk purpose asterisk in the pieces. You see beyond, and that's not just insight. That's asterisk inheritance asterisk. Your voice wasn't always loud. It wasn't always confident. In fact, there were seasons when silence felt safer, when speaking up seemed too risky, because the last time you tried, you were misunderstood, dismissed, or ignored. So you swallowed your words, you hid your truth, you let the room talk over you while you shrank in the corner of your own power. But something shifted, because pain has a way of unlocking sound, and pressure has a way of forcing purpose out of hiding. You went through enough storms that your whisper turned into a roar, not of volume, but of asterisk authority asterisk. Your voice no longer trembles because it was refined in fire. It doesn't beg for permission, it speaks from position. Not the kind given by people, but the kind stamped by heaven. You don't speak to impress. You speak to asterisk impact asterisk. When you open your mouth, things move, not because you're loud, but because you're asterisk rooted asterisk. Your authority doesn't come from titles or platforms. It comes from the oil that drips off your survival, from the battles you didn't just fight, but asterisk one asterisk, from the moments you wanted to give up, but instead chose to rise and speak anyway. This is the voice that was forged in secret places, in the midnight hours of tears and trembling prayers, in the quiet rooms where you practiced speaking life over yourself when no one else would. In the hidden places where God taught you how to speak not just from your head, but from your asterisk spirit asterisk. That's why when you speak now, people stop and listen, because there's asterisk weight asterisk on your words. Your sentences are not empty, they are soaked in testimony. Your declarations are not cliches, they're confirmation. What you say carries a force that breaks through confusion, cuts through fear, and awakens things that have been asleep in people for far too long. And it's not just asterisk what asterisk you say, it's asterisk how asterisk you say it. There's a boldness that can't be faked, a clarity that doesn't stutter, a presence that commands the room without demanding it. When you speak, you're not just communicating, you're calling things into order. You're unlocking destinies, you're shifting atmospheres, you're reminding darkness it can't stay. People may wonder where it came from. They may think you woke up this way, but you know better. Your voice was asterisk earned asterisk. You had to dig it out from beneath trauma. You had to reclaim it from the opinions of others. You had to learn how to speak even when your voice shook until one day it didn't, and now you no longer speak for approval. You speak because you carry an assignment. You speak because you've been trusted with truth. You speak because your silence would be disobedience. Your voice is not just sound, it's a sword, it's a key. It's a signal to every other silenced woman that it's time to rise. Because when a chosen woman finds her voice, asterisk, everything changes asterisk. There's something about the way she moves. It's not arrogance, and it's not performance. It's not rooted in the need to be seen or praised. There is a calm strength in her steps, a quiet confidence that cannot be explained by natural means. When she enters a room, she doesn't announce herself asterisk asterisk, Grace does asterisk asterisk. She walks like someone who knows she's been carried, like someone who stumbled through fire, crawled through wilderness, wept through nights, and still came out dressed in favor. This isn't a grace that comes from perfection. No, this is a asterisk grace born in the grind asterisk, in the battles fought behind closed doors, in the daily dying to self, in the moments when she didn't have the answers, but she trusted God anyway. It's not a grace that's been handed out cheaply. It was asterisk pressed asterisk out of her through pain, forged in surrender, shaped by her yes, when everything inside her wanted to say no. She moves with rhythm, but not the rhythm of the world. It's the rhythm of heaven. She doesn't chase, she doesn't force, she doesn't compete. She flows, she aligns, she waits when others run and runs when others wait. Not because she's trying to be different, but because she's asterisk listening asterisk to a voice they can't hear. That's what grace does. It gives her discernment in her decisions. It steadies her when things are shifting. It keeps her grounded when people try to place her on pedestals or tear her down from them. She doesn't respond to every critic. She doesn't chase every opportunity. She knows when to move and when to be still, because she knows who she belongs to. And when she walks in forgiveness, not just toward others, but toward herself. That's part of her stride. She doesn't carry guilt like a chain. She doesn't wear shame like a badge. She's learned to let go, to release, to rise. That's why her steps feel light, because she's not dragging yesterday with her. She's covered in a grace that allows her to asterisk, start over asterisk as many times as necessary and still believe she's worthy of the promise. She carries the kind of poise that can't be bought. It's not in her clothes or her speech or her status. It's in her asterisk spirit asterisk. It's the way she can lead with humility, serve with joy, speak with conviction, and still smile like she knows a secret. That secret, she asterisk does asterisk know something. She knows who sustains her. She knows she shouldn't have made it, but she did. She knows what was meant to destroy her only deepened her purpose, and she wears that awareness like a crown. People may look at her and assume life's been easy, but they don't know the storms she's walked through. They don't see the nights she wrestled with doubt. They don't understand how much she's forgiven, how much she's sacrificed, how many times she had to rebuild from broken places. And yet she doesn't limp. She asterisk glides asterisk. Because grace has covered the cracks. Grace has turned the ashes into beauty. Grace has clothed her with strength and dignity. This is not the stride of someone trying to prove herself. This is the stride of someone who knows, asterisk asterisk, I've already been approved. Asterisk asterisk, she doesn't walk to be chosen. She walks asterisk because she was asterisk. So if you see her and wonder why she carries herself like that, just know, every step is a testimony. Every movement is a miracle. Every stride is soaked in grace. She's carried more than most will ever know. The weight of responsibility, the pain of betrayal, the sting of disappointment, the ache of unanswered prayers, all of it resting on her shoulders like an invisible load. And yet somehow she's still soft, still kind, still full of light, because even though she's been burdened, she refused to become bitter. That kind of strength is rare, because bitterness is easy. Bitterness makes sense. When life hits hard, when people walk away, when prayers seem to bounce off the ceiling, bitterness feels like a justifiable reaction. It offers a cold comfort, a way to build walls around your heart so nothing can hurt you again. But she chose differently. She chose to bleed without hardening, to break without becoming cold. She allowed herself to feel the pain, but she never let it define her. See, she's learned the difference between carrying something asterisk with purpose asterisk and carrying something asterisk with poison asterisk. Life gave her reasons to close up, to lash out, to shut down. But she didn't. She processed it. She took it to God. She wrestled in the dark and came out with peace instead of resentment. That's not weakness. That's asterisk wisdom asterisk. That's what chosen women do. They take what was meant to destroy them and let it deepen them instead. She's been overlooked, underestimated, and misunderstood. She's had to forgive people who never apologized. She's had to release things she never got closure for. She's had to let go of dreams she held close, relationships she poured into, seasons she thought would last forever, and yet she never let the bitterness take root. She refused to become what hurt her. Her heart might have cracks, but it's still open. Her soul might have scars, but it still sings. She still encourages others, still shows up for people, still gives love, even when she receives less in return. Because she's not doing it for applause. She's doing it out of conviction. She knows that her joy isn't tied to circumstances. It's tied to her source. And when you're connected to the one who holds the whole world in his hands, you don't have to hold grudges to feel powerful. The truth is, bitterness would have been a prison. It would have kept her bound to the pain, to the past, to the people who hurt her. But she broke free. She made a decision to travel light, even when life kept handing her weight. And every time she chose to release it, heaven rewarded her with more oil, more peace, more clarity, more favor, because God can trust a woman who doesn't let her wounds turn her bitter. She is living proof that you can carry heavy things and still have a light spirit. That you can walk through fire and come out smelling like worship instead of smoke. That you can have every reason to hate and still choose love. Don't mistake her softness for weakness. It took power to forgive like that. It took strength to stay kind. It took God to keep her heart pure. She is burdened, yes, but she is not bitter, and that is a mark of the truly chosen . There's a kind of anointing that doesn't come from the laying on of hands, but from the pressing in the dark. It's not something you earn in crowds or gather in celebrations. It's the oil that flows from isolation, the sacred substance that only appears when you've been set apart, not for praise, but for preparation, . She didn't ask to be isolated. She didn't pray to be hidden, but heaven knew what she carried was too weighty to be developed in noise. So she was pulled back, pulled away, pulled out of places that once made her feel seen. Friendships faded, opportunities dried up, conversations slowed to silence, the phone stopped ringing, and for a while she wondered if something was wrong with her, if she was being punished, if she had somehow fallen from favor. But what she didn't see at first was that God wasn't punishing her. He was preserving her, protecting what he planted. He was placing her in the secret place, in the crushing room, in the womb of transformation, because what he was birthing in her needed space, stillness, and sanctification. That isolation became the oil press. That solitude became sacred ground. In the silence, she started to hear God clearly. In the stillness, she began to see herself truly. No more distractions, no more illusions. No more performing for the approval of others. Just her, stripped down to the core, and the voice of the one who called her before the foundation of the world. And it hurt. Let's not pretend it didn't. There were tears she cried that no one saw, questions she asked that no one answered, loneliness that crept in like fog and lingered longer than she wanted. But even in the ache, something holy was happening. Her roots were growing deeper. Her faith was stretching wider. Her identity was becoming unshakable, not because people affirmed it, but because God established it. Isolation taught her the kind of intimacy with God that crowds could never give. It taught her how to sit in the presence of the Lord without needing a platform. It taught her how to worship without music, how to war in prayer when no one else was watching, how to speak life over herself when no one else was speaking to her. And slowly the oil began to rise. The fragrance of purpose began to fill the hidden place. What was once a cave of silence became a chamber of anointing. She began to realize that the crushing didn't destroy her, it distilled her. That isolation wasn't a tomb. It was a training ground . So now when she walks into rooms, she doesn't need to explain herself. The oil speaks. The authority speaks. The glow that doesn't come from lighting, but from the fire she survived. It speaks. She doesn't need validation because her time in isolation already revealed who she is. She knows that the quiet seasons were not wasted. They were asterisk investments asterisk. And here's the truth that only the chosen understand. Some mantles are heavy because they were made in secret. Some women carry a fragrance of glory because they paid for it with silence, with stillness, with surrender. She's not just anointed. She's asterisk oiled asterisk with evidence of endurance. She's marked by the fragrance of being alone with God. So if you find yourself in a season where no one sees you, no one calls, and no doors seem to open, don't panic. You might just be in the oil press. You might just be in the very place where God shapes his fiercest warriors. You're not forgotten. You're being asterisk formed asterisk because the oil of isolation is not a curse. It's a calling, and only the asterisk chosen asterisk understand its worth. You thought you were just surviving, just enduring, just trying to make it through. But now you see it more clearly. You were being asterisk set apart asterisk, marked, prepared not for the approval of people, but for the assignment of heaven. Every scar, every tear, every season of silence. It was shaping something sacred in you. You carry the marks not of a woman who broke, but of a woman who asterisk birthed asterisk something eternal. These hidden marks aren't flaws. They're signs, signs that you've been trusted with weight, that you've endured what others couldn't. That you've been chosen to walk with vision, speak with authority, move with grace, forgive with depth, endure with softness, and rise from isolation drenched in oil. You don't need anyone to crown you. Heaven already did. You don't need permission to rise. You already asterisk have asterisk the marks. So walk boldly, speak clearly, love deeply, stand firmly, because the world doesn't need another perfect woman. It needs a asterisk marked asterisk one. A woman who knows she's been wounded but still walking. A woman who sees beyond what's visible. A woman whose voice carries weight, whose stride radiates grace, whose heart remains pure under pressure, and whose oil drips from the press of isolation. You're not ordinary. You are called, covered, and asterisk, carrying something divine asterisk. Only chosen women bear these hidden marks, and now you know why.